us back to the moment when you had your first drink. Like, where were you? Who
Ooh.
were you with? How old were you?
So let me just say this too, because
Because
I
I know
feel
you
like
mentioned, I know you mentioned that you used to hang out with your homegirl because her mom owned a store.
her grandma, yeah. But that wasn't where I had my first drink. I had my first drink with a family member. And let me just say this. That first, like, the beauty of the first drink, or that first drink, was it was a mixed drink with an uncle in Florida. It was a Long Island, and I was about 14.
A
So I took
Long
a
Island at 14. Wait, slow
hold on,
down.
hold on, hold on. Let me finish. Because I know you're gonna have a question. Listen.
No, no,
Because
no, no,
I'm
no. I don't have a question. I have a statement. A 14-year-old drinking a Long Island is fucking crazy because I
no,
can't even drink a.
first off, didn't drink the whole thing
It don't
because I was poor.
matter.
Listen, my uncle, listen, because we're not gonna do Uncle Jake like that.
No,
So
no, no.
Uncle,
I'm not saying. I'm just saying that for that to be your first choice of drink, like as a almost pushing 40 woman, a Long Island is very.
that
It's
wasn't
a
my
lot.
choice. That's what Uncle Jake was
That's
making.
what
I
I'm
just wanted
saying. So
to
to get
sit.
that to a 14-year-old is fucking crazy.
Times was different, Eboné.
The drink is still the drink, sis. Because
You
I
right.
remember when I was a kid. I mean, of course, you used to drink with your family members. Because I remember when I used to go to my friend's house, my one of my childhood best friend's house, and they used to give us drinks all the time. We used to think it was funny, this and that. We'll have coolers, and then we'll spike it, all this other stuff. So, but a Long Island iced tea is crazy.
But let me tell you how it went. He offered me a sip. I took a sip, didn't like it. That was it. Like it wasn't one of those things where it was like I sat in stories and I've heard how people first drink was the one that did it. It was like, mm.
Right.
It's like that was just the intro. But again, because the taste was off, like the setting was off, it was just like that really was like, because we were in town for a wedding. So just be honest, I didn't even really know my uncle like that. It's like I drank a little bit of it. I'm like, I'm good. At that point in time, I had just gotten a cell phone. I was more concerned with calling my friend back home and just gossiping about spring break.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, when Sydney and I, started hanging out, and
Now, who is Sydney
Sydney was the girl whose grandmother on the
on
package.
the
Again,
liquor
like I
store?
said, at that point in time, alcohol was just a vehicle. I more so like to have it around so I could use it. So one thing I've learned, excuse me, in life and just with addiction and vices are two things. Like they will make people go. Like if I know your vices, I know how to get you up. I know how to get you down. I know how to make you come close. I know how to make you stay away. So it'd be like, oh man, like they like to drink. Like I'm gonna have like I should have this around. And I should have this around turned into like, oh yeah, I'm taking shots. And then with me making different career choices to be, in adult entertainment and just things like this, like the drinking didn't pick up then, but I was always in these like adult alcoholic settings. And so it was like I always was kind of like comfortable. It's like people around me drink, whatever the case may be. Until, and I say until it was like my trauma started catching up to me. It was like, you know, for me, being in a relationship with someone and like, I'm gonna just keep it real. You hear about people talking about being raised on love and being raised on survival. There's no feeling like realizing you've been raised on survival when you're in a relationship with someone that's been raised off love.
Yeah.
Because it's like we're gonna come, we operate two very, very different ways. Like, for instance, it's just so many different things going like it's just so many different things going on. And it's like, you know, I remember in that relationship was when, like I said, I was with another alcoholic. So it was like the celebratory reasons, and like every time he would get off work, it would be like he would always have a bottle, always have a bottle, always have a
Right.
bottle. And I remember like when it seemed like one bottle wasn't enough, so he would grab two bottles. And I'm talking about straight liquor, like we taking shots, like we are not
Mm.
taking no mixed drinks. And like the craziest thing was we used to have a friend. He used to irritate me because it was like he used to drink like us to the point where it was like, oh, we gotta hide the bottle because like he'd be like, don't worry, I'll make my own drink. And he'd be like, no, no, that's not what that means.
So
Like,
wait, so would you say during this period of time, because I do want to fast forward to where we at now in this journey, but would you say during this time, this is when everything intensified? Because at this time you moved to Atlanta and now you working at the strip club, right?
so yeah, yeah. So we kind of jump forward, but jump back. So I'm gonna tell you this, or I guess I would say this. what ended up happening to me was it was like I would drink over a lot of traumatic stuff. Like for instance, I think you've heard my previous interview when I speak about having an abortion and excuse me. When I was assaulted, because it kind of just all goes in like
Well,
a
wait,
little
let's
lot.
go. Let's go ahead. Let's move back then. So, how did you get introduced to the strip club then?
So I got introduced to dancing through a dead end job. I was working at this place in North Carolina called Marketplace Mall. These girls came in. It was kind of like, it's so funny because at the time I had never seen Players Club, but it was kind of like that. Like they came in, they were in a world of their own, and they're just like, yo, like we work at the club down the street. You know, if you're trying to get money, have a good time, get out of doing this, come holler at us. And I'm like,
Oh,
I will.
wow.
Yeah, and it was honestly, I feel like it was the best and the worst thing that could have happened because, again, started dancing. It was going great. Unfortunately, got assaulted. And
Right.
that was like, that I feel like that was one of those things when it happened. I feel like if things would, I never know, like, I only know what I know. So long story short, I feel like the worst part of my assault was just really feeling like I didn't have anybody like when I needed them the most. Meaning like, so after I'm at the hospital, rape kit just been done. I called my mom and I'm like, hey, something really bad happened last night. I was raped. They
Did
just
she
finished.
at this time? Did she know you was working at the club?
I think she just like I had moved out at this time. I don't know if she knew exactly what was going on. I was still in North Carolina, wasn't at home, so it was just kind of like vague.
Okay.
So I was just like, I'm like, hey, I was just raped. I'm like, is there any way you can come pick me up from the hospital? And my mom pretty much told me, she's like, "Lauren, I'm at work. You're gonna have to call somebody else."
Wow.
And I feel like, I know
That's
this was just
unbelievable.
our first day meeting, but it's like I've never gotten an apology for that. I've never gotten anything other than like, well, I was at work and I couldn't go in and ask, and it's like I've heard so many different rationalizations of that answer, and for me being a working individual, like me being in food, like food is my passion, and to me there's no way I could align myself or my personal values with an employer that wouldn't allow me to go see about my child. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
because
Especially
again,
if my child has told me that they have been raped.
right. Because
Like,
it's like this is the
that's just
definition of an
crazy.
emergency. Definition.
Yeah. Like, I don't think any employer would be like, no, you still have to stay. Like, no, girl, go take care of your baby.
And then it would be like you would want like it just always had to be like, and you would want to work for them. Like you would be comfortable like this like that's how you get down. Like because to me it's just like I couldn't even like what
Right.
so it would be like for me, I could have a really rough day and I would think about that situation and it would be like my addiction would be talking to me like, damn bitch, your own mom didn't even want to come get you from the hospital after you
Yeah.
got raped. Shit, pour up. You deserve it. Like,
Hmm.
and it would be like those types of tapes and that type of mentality and just like, man, I never got an apology for this. Like, man, like, just those will be those type of things. And I
And
feel
then your
like
addiction would just start talking to you crazy.
and again, not having a therapist, not getting treatment, and then self-medicating with alcohol and drugs and it blurring the line because it's like sometimes you start out drinking, you start feeling good and then you hear a song and it just takes you all the way back and then and it's like you're starting to lose your validity because you're leaning on these exterior crutches that are really really bad and again like I told you, people will see you going down the drain and because if I decide to talk to you about your alcoholism, it's going to turn a mirror around on me. I might not just say anything because it's like, and that's the boat a lot of people find themselves in. They be like, well, I was going to say something, but I know I be drinking too, and it's like it
So
just
did you
becomes.
ever find out who assaulted you? Like, did they ever? Because this happened after you left work, right?
Yeah,
from the club?
this happened in like a long time ago. They were prosecuted. They went to jail.
Oh, so
Like
you
it.
did find out.
Mhm.
Okay, good. Did you know him?
No, thank God.
Oh,
No, I
wow.
didn't know them, and fortunate like that was a lot, and it was one of those things where it's like I kind of sometimes wish like that would have been the thing where I was like, you know what? I've been through a lot. I should go to somebody's treatment center. I should check in. I should chill. But I was like, shit, made it out alive. Time to go to Atlanta. Like,
Right, right, right. So talk about the transition to Atlanta because this is when you met the guy who was also an alcoholic and he was abusive towards you.
that was actually a different person. But they I've dealt with a lot of alcoholics. But yeah, so I came to Atlanta. And one of the reasons I came to Atlanta was because my best friend at the time, she was living down here, and like for lack of better terms, Tamika's mom was amazing. Like Miss Pam was a mom. Like she was really nice. Like I just remember there would be times where like my head would be in her lap and she'd be like braiding my hair and like we'd be watching something on TV. Like and it would never even be anything like that cool. But like she just had the time. Like I remember like and this is gonna just to show a difference in like the homes and the lifestyle. I remember when I had was living with Tamika, and like when I had met this guy that I was getting ready to get in this relationship with, and being like, I remember coming home being like, "Yo, I met this dude. We get ready to go out." And her mom was like, "No, you're not. Like he could either come over and meet this family, or I don't know
Mm,
what to tell you, but like I don't." She's like, "You're not just gonna be going with somebody. He could be Jack the Ripper. He could be anything." And I just remember her being like, "Miss Pam, I get what you're saying, but like." It's like I just always think back to that relationship and be like, Miss Pam, like, what's the worst that can happen?
wow.
Eboné, ask me why I got these braces on.
Girl, why you got them braces on?
Because when I was in a domestic, when I was in a relationship with that person, they knocked out one, two. I lost two teeth. And I'm getting ready to get an implant put in, but before you can get your implant put in, they got to make sure your teeth are straight. So I had to get these braces before the implant. So to say that relationship was rocky would be an understatement. And I feel like from
Wow.
the shame and just everything that came out of that, it only made the addiction like that much stronger. Cause I remember looking at myself one time and just being like, damn, like how did we get here? And just to be
Mm,
a little more transparent, this person was involved in like the wrong side of the law. So, I was finding myself in just different things, doing different things, and, just dealing with the guilt and the shame of all of that. So it was just like a really, really dark, dark time. Like it was just like I just look back on those times. It was just like bad because it would be like even like all like just being honest with you, like the
mm-hmm.
clothes, the shopping, the restaurants, like I feel like there's no feeling like going to some place you like and wondering if they can tell you have a black eye.
Mm. So when would you say you got to your rock bottom moment? Like what encouraged you? I know you said it earlier, your friend was the one who said
That
that,
was that was it.
that was your rock bottom moment.
So my bottom again was Jarvis coming to me being like, I think you're talented. I think you're special, but I think you also have a drinking problem. Like I think it's something where if you do not take a hold of this, it's gonna take you out. And it took somebody really saying that to me. And I'm like, Jarvis, last night was crazy, but ain't no need for no PSA.
Right.
He's like, I'm not joking. He's like, I've checked my mom into rehab. He was like, either I can help you or you can help yourself on. But he's like, I can't have this in my life. Like I can't even do this. And I'm thinking like, I can't lose you. Like, I love your food. You're such an inspiration. Like, what's going on? And I'm just like, I made a deal with myself. I was like, you know what? Worst case scenario, we'll give him 30 days. 30 days. I'll sit it down, whatever case may be, and I will come back better than ever. Whoop-de-whoop. Like I had a whole game plan. And luckily for me, on like day 5 of being in detox, someone spoke at an AA meeting in detox, and what she said really, really touched me because I feel like sometimes when you're in those places, you're ready for somebody to jump down and give you like the third degree and tell you like how you been effing up and like, you know what I'm saying, like da 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 da. But she actually spin it around. But I remember one of the things she had said that was so impactful to me there. She was like, if y'all take nothing with you now, I want you to know that you guys are some of the most resourceful people in Atlanta. And I remember looking at her being like, what you mean resourceful? She was like, don't you know these are the same? She's like, I already know what type of people y'all are. Y'all will wake up broke, make up a couple phone calls, you getting ready to go make it the deposit. Like, you're gonna have the cash. Like, you guys are doers, you are dreamers, like you are beyond resourceful. Like, you make water come out of rocks, you move the room, you're a shapeshifter. Like, you change things. And it was like, it hit me. It was like, oh my gosh, I am. And she's like, the only thing is you just been applying your addiction in the wrong method. And I was like, damn. She's like, imagine if you took this same tenacity, this same mania, and applied it to your success. And I was like, damn. She's like, you wouldn't even be here. And it was like, I started thinking like, oh my gosh, like I really wouldn't. And like, sometimes it's like, that's really what it takes. And I also really credit like the last time I went to jail, like there was this officer in there and she like, just being honest with you, Eboné, every time I ever got locked up, I always ended up having to get put in like the little, like the cell to the side.
Wait, how many times you been locked up?
7.
7 times?
Come on now. But anyway,
right.
The last time I was locked up, you know, she walked over, she was like, I was like, what you want? She was like, let me ask you something. She's like, what are you doing here? I said, what you mean when I'm locked up? She said, no. She was like, I can look at you and tell you cut from a different cloth. She's like, what are you doing in here? What are you running from? She's like, I don't know what your calling, what your ministry is, but you're playing with God and yourself. She's like, tighten up. She was like, don't. She's like, you better than that. Like, that's all she kept saying. And it was like, at that point in time, like I knew, I'm like, what am I doing? What is going on? And I feel like sometimes you got to get to those positions. And I just feel like for me personally, I'm blessed that in both of those times when I feel like the Lord spoke to me, one, I feel like it was motivational, but two, the second time it was like a wake-up call, because it was like, it's just like how you asked me, how many times have you been to jail? They started to get very, very frequent. And like one thing people don't realize about like sometimes going to jail, like a lot can happen between holding and you going upstairs.
Yeah.
Meaning like some like extra charges. Like I you just see everything going on. So
anyway, wait, we're almost finished with your story, but what you been in jail for 7 times?
So let me tell you, when I've been drinking, them disorderly conducts, the batteries, the boom, 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 like they started coming real quick. Also, when I had been involved in a previous relationship, I just had some other little run-ins with the law. So, like I say, the disorderly conducts, battery. What was another one? Because I've had a lot of stuff. Like I've had so much stuff expunged, and so many people little program. Oh, I had a couple weed charges. Yeah, that's what it was. 2 weed charges. And it's funny because I was just thinking, I saw them cancel Bonnaroo a couple days ago, and like I remember I got arrested on the way to Bonnaroo. Like I would sidebar Eboné.
Eboné.
My bad, Eboné. This is the last time I'll say this. I had a joke when I was in active addiction, like, what are the 4 worst words you could ever say on a first date?
You know? I ain't got it.
I'm out on bond. Like, I'll never forget. It's like I was on a first date and we had got pulled over. And he was like, why are you looking like that? I was like, I'm going to just let you know I'm out on bond. He was like, what does that mean? I was like, I just got out of jail. He was like, what? It was so funny because the cop was like, I was just telling y'all to turn your lights on. And he drove off. So he was like, what'd you get out of jail for? I was like, take me home.
Oh my God. So here we are. You have been sober for 6 years now.
Yes.
So what would you say has been the hardest part of your journey towards sobriety?
The hardest part is the people that I just knew. I knew they were gonna be standing there. I knew they would be cheering for me.
Mm.
Gone, Eboné. They are gone.
Mm.
The way I thought my life would look is completely different. And when I say completely different, it is amazing. If you had told me I would be owning 2 vehicles, have an apartment, an amazing job in my own business, I would be like, what? But if you also told me I would get sober and through sobriety, I would realize my self-worth and really demand higher from everyone in my circle. And when they didn't give it to me, a boundary had to be put in place. I would look at you and be like, how does that happen? And for me, it was like, I really, 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 really wanted that relationship with my mom to work. So
Mm.
much so that I've, went up for like mediation through treatment. Like we've had a lot of just different incredible opportunities brought to us, and every single time my mom has been like, I definitely want to see you, but I don't want to see you in front of a doctor. So like I just,
Mm.
and it's been very, very heartbreaking because I feel like one of my greatest accomplishments by someone who is very, very important in my life has not even been seen.
Mm.
And it hurts all the time. Um, However, the people that God has placed along my journey and
Mm.
placed in my life have been so incredible, have been so amazing. Like my sponsor, like just to be honest, just to be transparent with you, um, about my 3rd year sober, when I was really coming into money, I was getting ready to go work the masters. But before that, I wanted to go and visit my mom because I
Mm.
hadn't seen her sober. I never seen her sober. And, I remember my mom, she was just like, she's really frustrated with just some decisions I've been making and just other things. And out of frustration, she told me, she was like, you know, I really tried hard, with you and with what I wanted you to be. And, it seems like you don't want that. So, you know what? Just stay out of my life.
Oh, wow.
And I remember being like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Like, no,
Wow.
like I got sober, like I've done so much work, like you never even came to see me in rehab, like all these things were happening. And like I called my sponsor because I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, what's gonna happen? Like,
Mm.
and my sponsor assured me, she was like, this is my favorite thing she's ever said. She said, I'm gonna hold your hand and I'm gonna walk with you inch by inch through that pain. And she's like, and I will look in your eyes and I promise you this. You don't never have to put no drink on top of that shit if you don't want to. And I'm
Mm.
sorry I cursed. But that's exactly how she meant it. And that's exactly what she said. She's like, I will hold your hand through all of this pain and you won't ever have to put an ounce of alcohol on top of this. And to
Mm.
me, being a person in long-term recovery, that means more than any of those, oh, I wish I could take every pain away. Any of them quotes, any of that, baby, I will take that all day. Because what that means for me is that even though it's going to be tough, even though these feelings going to be sticky, it's going to be nasty. Like, you're going to be there and we're going to get through this positively. And we don't have to put no type of substance on top of this. And when we come out on the other side, like we're gonna come out on the other side, and like my sponsor has been there with me day in and day out. And
Mm.
like I tell people, like that's just being honest with you. That's some of the realest shit I ever heard. Like that's more real than any of that street stuff or this or any of that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
And God will give you exactly what you need. Because I always feel like a lot of times, like I don't have a lot of support from any family members. And the one person I did, she's no longer here. But I used to be like, I used to feel so alone and just lonely. But now here I am. And I'm like, wow, like God has really blessed me with some amazing people in my life that are not my family.
yeah, and I've really had to just kind of like lean on that. And, for just a long story, not long story short, but like someone in my family, my circle that means a lot to me. When I was one of my amazing jobs I got when I got out of treatment, I was working at Four Seasons, and
Mhm.
unfortunately, my coworker passed away. And the not I want to say the beauty of that, but like I've spent so much time with his family. Like we celebrate Christmas together, holidays together.
Yeah, I think that's amazing.
We've been to, the Atlanta United soccer game. And just recently, I was expressing to her because, again, like my sobriety is super important. And it's just being honest, sometimes it's like when you get to different milestones, it's like you have like a celebration in AA. And so
Mhm.
I asked her, I was like, I know, you're not my family or anything, but it would really mean a lot to me if you would give me my 6-year chip. And, Tyler, excuse me, his mother wrote me back and she's like, we look at you as family. I would be honored to do that. I appreciate you, in my life. And it's like, for so long, that's really all I wanted was somebody to see the value in the things that are important to me and
Yeah.
just be able to embrace and celebrate what I got going on. But just embrace what I've got going on. Cause again, like I said, you know, the wildest was I didn't even touch on this, but like my mom stopped talking to me while I was in rehab. So
Mm.
so there have been like so many things to kind of like uncover and kind of climb over and like really, really just champion. And like one of the things that I discovered in some of this, and it's really kind of just it's bittersweet, is like sometimes, and this is gonna sound just interesting, is like as much as it may make sense for you to be well, there are people that benefit from you being sick.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
benefit from you not
People
necessarily
don't want to
being.
see you doing better than them, regardless of who they are to you.
And sometimes it becomes really just unfortunate when I think it's like the people that you would be your biggest cheerleaders or like super close to you and be really, really happy to see you taking this new life. Like I
Right.
said, like they're not there. So,
Yeah. Do you ever get tempted to have a drink again?
famous question. Does ever want to drink again? So, Eboné, we have this thing in the program called playing out the tape.
Hmm.
And so for me, like if I play out the tape, I ain't never been no one mimosa, one shot, one drink, nothing. And as much as I would like to feel like, oh yeah, I could be that person, like that's never been my story. Like I have a couple of drinks and I go get a bottle and then God forbid I sometimes go to jail. So it's just like for the life that I have, romanticizing that, like I really can't play into that. And it's like I've really had to really invest in what I like, meaning like I love green smoothies. So that means like I have spinach in my fridge, ice. So like when I get up, I make green smoothies. I love I took one earlier, these like little health shots.
Hmm.
Now Eboné,
Eboné, child. Lord
Eboné,
have mercy.
these will run me in the poorhouse. But like I love these because it's like it's wellness, it's a shot of flavor, it's still kind of it's kind of batty
Right.
shot o'clock, but it's the good kind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Really just had to embrace like the things that I like because like I said, like for so long, it was I don't like the way this medicine feels, but like everybody else likes how I perform, so I'm gonna take it. And it's like now I have to just like listen to my own voice, and I know like as much as if I no matter how great that craving may be, like I know what my disease looked like. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? I was never that cute girl, like have a couple drinks. Like I was that girl that would like I would hit my head on the bar, like it would be like it would be serious consequences. Like I've had some cute nights like that, but it's just like, again, in playing out the tape, I just I don't, again, because I've also been doing like the therapy and the work. I just don't have this, like, I don't have the same, I'm not carrying the same bags.
Yeah. Because
So
now
it's
you
like,
know how to cope with your trauma better without using alcohol as a coping mechanism.
and then it's like the support system's also different.
Yeah.
Like I said, my sponsor, she is amazing. Like we've had some incredible holidays. Like I look forward to the stuff she's gonna give me for Christmas, and you know what I'm saying, cook it. Like I'm a chef, so I cook for her often. And you know, that has been, it's just been so enriching, because I feel like when you get sober, those are the things that you don't expect. You just think like, oh, I'm gonna get sober and like everything, like my life's gonna come back together. And it
Yeah.
kind of actually gets turned inside out.
Yeah. But sis, I'm super proud of you. I'm really happy that we were able to have this conversation, and now you have allowed me to be a part of your journey. So I really appreciate it. But oh, go ahead.
I'm not gonna say anything because I know I'm long-winded, so I already know what you're doing.
Yeah, 'cause I'm like, girl, you gotta land the
Everybody's like,
plane.
let's wrap this thing up.
But and also I have a flight to catch. However, but no,
Oh, for
seriously,
real? Where you going to?
I'm going to Paris.
How
Yeah,
long?
for a week.
Are you going by yourself?
No, I'm going with my childhood friends.
Oh, I love that for you. You got it.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank
yes.
you. But no, seriously, I really, really enjoyed this conversation. I mean, this is why I created my platform, because I feel like stories like this is the epitome of storylines becoming lifelines. So I really do appreciate you sharing your story. And if you can speak to the version of yourself who took the first drink at 14, what would you say to her now? Drinking Long Island iced teas.
Be like, get ready. Get ready. Everything's gonna change. Oh, oh, give me 1 second. Let's get ready to come out. What's been sent to break you is gonna make you stronger than ever. It is going to hurt. It's going to hurt like hell. Everybody's going to leave. Everybody, yes, everybody is going to leave. But you are going to learn they were never there to begin with.
Mm.
You got this. It's going to be hard, but the journey is worth it. I see you at the top.
Mm. And on that note, that's what I'm talking about, sis. When I come to Atlanta, I'm gonna definitely hit you up. But I'm super proud of
Please
you.
do. I would love to cook for you. That's my
And I would love to eat. So
Eboné, I cook for the first lady of the United States. Like, I know I be all around the place, but my hands is no joke. Okay.
Oh, nice. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna hit you up. And to
Okay.
the
And
listeners, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say you got my number. I know you got a flight, so go.
Yes, but to the listeners, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please make sure to email me at hello@thephgpodcast.com. And this was so amazing. I'm really happy that we were able to do this, because Charles took us about what 3,000 times to try to connect.
Yes, but I was like, I was determined to make it work. Look, I got the member ID and password right here. I was like, I got it.
Yes. So until next time, everyone, later.
Peace.